is, of course, a shocking image. She goes to the underworld, and meanwhile we meet her student, who she loves, who's going over all around China Jack Kerouac style, and that's why she couldn't find him. And in the temple where she is buried, he shows up as a poor student trying to sleep under a roof. And her ghost appears to him. In China, there's a tradition of every three years after somebody dies in enormous pain, you have a ceremony to calm their troubled spirit. Her ghost appears while he's sleeping there, and finally she appears in his dream. And it's one of those beautiful, symmetrical things for women and men that is so unusual in 17th century culture. And they each have an interrupted dream. What's marvelous is, I will simplify it from here, but to just tell you that through his love, he literally pulls her back out of the grave, and she's alive again. And it's one of the most thrilling things in all of drama, Chinese or drama of any tradition. It's an astonishing scene. And then the second half of the play, I will just tell you very, very quickly. We didn't do the second half because that's already, as you can tell, that took 4 hours. The second half of the play, he studies for the imperial exams. And he is, you know, like all Chinese students have across centuries. And she's with him in a little town, and she's like, you know, they're living as students, really poor. And she says, you know what, I bet my parents would want to know that I'm alive. And she says to her young husband, who's studying for the exams, you know, after you take the exams, go to the capital and tell my parents, tell my dad that I'm still alive. He'll be happy. So this young man studies for the imperial exams, takes the imperial exams, and then goes to the capital, and in fact, her father has just become the prime minister of all of China. And there's a giant banquet to welcome him as prime minister. And this student starts pounding on the door of the banquet and saying, I have to speak to the prime minister. Prime minister says, okay, who's this? The student comes in and says to the prime minister, your daughter is alive. The prime minister is so hurt and angry. The best day of his life has suddenly been challenged by the worst day of his life when he buried his own daughter who committed suicide. How this dark secret anyone could know and then come to announce to him in public on this day that should be happy, he's so angry. He says, take that student out of here. The student comes back and pounds on the door again and says, your daughter is alive. Your daughter is alive. He says, take that student away and torture him until he stops saying that. So the student goes to prison, is tortured. Meanwhile, only one young man in all of China passes the imperial exam, and it's him. And they're searching all over China to find him, but they can't find him. Why? Because he's in prison. Finally, the prime minister himself comes down to torture the kid personally. And the kid says, your daughter is alive. And he says, stop saying that, and continues to torture him. Finally, the daughter appears in front of her father. And he didn't see her when she was alive before. And now she says to her father, you have to see me for the first time. And who I really am. This is finally the real me. That's not a bad 17th century poem. And as you can see, it's packed with, I've only mentioned, 12 of the 66 scenes. It's a good week's work. But it's also dramatic and thrilling. And what I would love to do is show invite Wenyi to show us the famous scene stepping out into the garden, which, of course, is incredible and what it means in all of our lives when we finally step out. This is what she's singing. The spring, a rippling thread of gossamer, gleaming sinuous in the sun, borne idly across the court. Pausing to straighten the flower heads of hair ornaments, perplexed to find my mirror stealing its half glance at my hair, has thrown these gleaming clouds into alarmed disarray. I think Tan Shan-Soo captured adolescence. Stepping out into the garden and seeing your hair is an alarmed disarray is the onset of total discovery. See now how vivid shows your madder skirt, how brilliant gleam these combs, set with gems. You see, it has always been in my nature to love fine things. Yet this bloom of springtime, no eye has seen. What if my beauty should amaze the birds, and out of shame for the comparison, cause fish to sink, wild geese to fall to earth, petals to close, the moon to hide her face, while all the flowers tremble. Over to you.
我要讲一下，就是说参加这个版本的演出的一些比较特别的感受的几点。一个就是说演那个 Peter Sellars 的那个剧里面，我就是这样子上台的，不是像中国的那个贴片子啊。化妆啊，穿那个披啊什么的，穿这个古装啊，这个衣服的，不是的，他让我就这样上去了。
She said she wants to tell you that in Peter's performance, she didn't wear that Chinese opera costume with the long jacket and the hair, eyes pulled up. She was dressed just like this.
所以我觉得我这个人就是比较能够接受这个新的事物。刚刚那个 Peter 也说了，就是完全是新的，啊。
Everything's new.
Yeah， 所以呢，我在想，这个是非常新的。
This is really new.
所以我呢想试试看，到底这个牛的味道是怎么样的。
What is the taste of new?
因为心里面有点害怕的，因为这个杜丽娘是才16岁。
She's only Julian character is 16 years old.
我那个时候50几岁。
I was 50 something.
我要演出来，人家是不是相信我是16岁
？Can I come out and have people believe I'm actually 16 years old?
那她的那个服装呢，就是都是很沙的服装，
It's all silky.
很飘逸的。
Very floaty outfit.
很轻的，没有什么负担的这个。
Nothing on my head.
所以呢，我就上去试了。
I got on and tried.
是尽量呢，就是把这个角色演好。就下来，我还当然很不自信了，我就去问这个导演，我说演的像不像这个16岁
？She said I still wasn't confident, so I came off the stage and said, "Did I seem like a 16-year-old?"
他说你放心，就是16岁了。
Relax, it's 16.
那我就在琢磨了，不是我演得好，这是昆曲艺术的魅力。
Her focus wasn't whether or not she performed well, but did it capture the beauty of 昆曲。
所以呢，我就是说，我们应该呢，就是说，还是对昆曲的艺术呢，就是表示崇敬，就是今后呢，就是也要就非常的认真去研究昆曲，它为什么 啊，他这些程式做出来啊，就是像那个16岁的人，不像那个50岁的人。
So she had to use the conventions, the stylizations of Kunchu to create a believable character, have you believe she's not 50-something, she's 60.
当然也有不同意见哦，有些观众就尤其是老观众啊，他老看昆曲的人觉得这什么昆曲？
She said some of the old audience members said, "What kind of kunchu is that?"
所以说不好看，不好看。
Ugly.
虽然是不同意见，我觉得我现在能够这样子去演，我觉得是一种新的体会，对吧？新的发现，我觉得是还是很有意义。
She said that there's a lot of meaning. It's a chance to create something new and express.
还有一点就是给我找个柳梦梅。
Oh, she said now she wants to talk about the male character, the Liu Mengmei that he found for her.
呀，所以以前呢，就我的柳梦梅全是女的演。
Always in her past, Liu Mengmei character was always performed by women.
女的那个跟女的演的感情呢会近一点。
She said